Hello and welcome back to another episode of this week's watches, and as you can see we have a lot of watches on the table for you this week. You'll have to excuse all the noise outside, it's just typical with Clark & Wells I start recording. Now we did have even more than this on the table, so I am very thankful to you guys and girls out there because you have been purchasing like crazy and I really do appreciate it. We had actually two of this Unimatic which we'll get into and a few other pieces, so thank you very much. So as always, make sure you follow in on Instagram at Kibble Watches. We show all the pieces early on there and you can make an inquiry and a purchase directly through there. We can send you an invoice and have the watch out to you really the next working day. Very quick turnaround, so that's what we try and do for here in the UK, that is. Now if you want to skip all the ramble that usually comes with these videos and just go to a specific watch, down in the description there is each watch listed with a timestamp to the specific part of the video where I talk about it, and also a link to the website where you can take a closer look, see all the macros and our descriptions, the sizes, everything you could possibly need is in that description. And then you can obviously make a purchase directly through there, or you can send us an email or give us a call. All the details are on the website. And if you have a watch you would like to sell, get in contact. So the easiest way to do is on our website under the sell section, there's a drop down list which you just complete and it sends through. We usually get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. It's been taking a little bit longer as of late because things have just been very crazy, very busy, which is great, so thank you guys and girls. But that's the easiest way to do it. Now if you are someone who maybe wants to part with a selection of your collection, the best way to do that is to WhatsApp us a list of all your watches with as much information as you possibly can of each with some photos. Otherwise I'm going to be asking you for all that information anyway, and it just quickens the process. I can start looking at prices and come back to you. Whether we purchase them outright from you or we consign them, there's plenty of options we can help you with, so just do it that way. Now as well as this incredible selection on the table, we actually already, as of the time we're recording this video, have next week's drop already as well, which is kind of where we want to be. We want to be a week ahead of ourselves because it just makes it a lot easier with the photography and getting everything ready. So I appreciate you guys and girls for sending in so many of your watches for sale, but keep an eye out. Next week's going to be pretty interesting as well as what you can see on the table for this week. So that's enough rambling. Shall we finally get into it? I think we should. Oh no, before we do, what's on wrist? I always forget this part. So I am wearing my Fierce Brunswick Brown. Little surprise there, I've been actually wearing it most days, and I've actually swapped the strap over to a strap tailor strap in suede, which actually matches the dial perfectly. When this dial hits the light, it just glows that really gorgeous brown. If you didn't see my unboxing and first impressions, make sure you go check that out. It's on the YouTube channel, very easy to find. But now we can get into the watches. So we're going to start with the watch that's probably caught most of your eyes. That is the solid gold Rolex Oyster Perpetual. What a watch to begin this week's drop. I mean, wow, look at the beautiful color of this watch. So this is a full 18 karat yellow gold Rolex Oyster Perpetual reference 1013. A very rare watch actually, because it's 36 millimeters, and it gets rarer with the fact it's on its original rivet bracelet. That bracelet alone is definitely worth a couple of £1,000 to the right buyer, because that is a 20 mil lug width, meaning it would fit on a variety of solid 18 karat gold watches. So the options are kind of endless there. But the dial of this is where it really stands out as well. Beautiful original gold dial, or champagne. You've got your beautiful tritium hands, tritium dial with the lume plots intact, and a gorgeous fluted bezel atop the case as well, with the acrylic crystal of course, which sits nicely. A really stunning case. It's definitely been polished over the years, but not too crazy, not over polished. It is in very fair, very honest condition, especially considering the age. So this is a circa 1978 watch. The movement inside is a caliber 1570, which is obviously a manually wound, it's an automatic Rolex caliber. That's why this is an Oyster Perpetual, obviously Perpetual indicating automatic. And the price of this one is incredibly fair, especially when you start looking around online, and this is what I've got to say, you will find cheaper, but the condition of them is terrible and they don't come on this bracelet. There's also one company in America, I won't name names, that have this exact watch for sale with the rivet bracelet, same reference, everything, same dial. Just as nice in my opinion, but I think they're asking almost a bit over double our price, which is just insane to me, but hey, it means we're a good price. So go check this one out on the website, and we're going to show it on wrist in just a second. Now I do want to quickly say, it doesn't come with any box and paperwork, but the paperwork it does come with is its chronometer guarantee certificate. So that is what it comes with, but other than that, it doesn't come with any paperwork. But enough of the rambling, let's put this absolute beauty on wrist. There you go, you can see the clasp as well, all the correct markings, correct clasp, polished center links, brushed. So the rivet bracelet is famous for its rivets, as you would suspect, and it's that sort of iconic staggered taper that we all know and love. Really beautiful, and to be honest, it's in pretty good condition. These warp massively over time, and this one really hasn't, so it has been well looked after over its time, which is good for us, because as soon as I put this on wrist, now I'm not a yellow gold person, to be honest, but this I would totally wear. It is so gorgeous. So think about old yellow gold. It's got that more copper in its mixture, which gives it more of a rosy appeal. Really, really stunning. So dimensions of this, as I said, 36mm by 43.5mm lug to lug. Absolutely perfect. Only 11.5mm thick and 20mm lugs. As I said, this strap alone is worth a fair chunk of money. So you add it all together as a package like this, and the condition and everything, and you've got yourself an absolute cracking watch for an incredible price. So go check it out on the website. Don't be shy. If you are in Clerkenwell, let us know, or near Clerkenwell where our office is, let us know and you want to come and view this watch. You are more than welcome to. From there, where do we go? Well, there's a lot of interesting pieces, but let's go with the Louis Erard. Now on to a watch that has been getting a lot of love, and I'm going to sort of talk briefly on it, but I'm not going to go into too crazy detail, because I will leave that for you to head to the website and read our description, because then you can appreciate it with the macro photography we have. So this is a Louis Erard and Vianney Halter Excellencely Regulator, as it's called. So Louis Erard and Vianney Halter partnered together to create this incredible and beautiful watch. A really, really stunning example of what can be done when two people come together and bring their creativeness. And I mean, this is just absolutely stunning. You can see, so a regulator, the way it works, you've got the hours in the top subdial, you've got the minutes in the continuous outer dial, if that makes sense, and you've got your running seconds down there at the bottom. Hopefully that makes sense, but it just takes a little second extra to try and figure out the time, but once you get used to it, it's very, very easy, very legible. It comes on this beautiful blue suede strap with its original buckle, and in the package is a brand new spare version of this strap. So you're getting yourself a pretty good deal. This does come with its full box and paperwork. It's obviously from December 2020, and beating away inside as we flip it over, you can see the movement there. It is actually a Sellita SW266-1, a really good and reliable movement, and you can see it is a limited edition, 1 of 170. My apologies, 1 of 178. I read that wrong. But there you go. You can see you got quick release on those spring bars as well. Makes it a lot easier for changing, but the dial is the highlight here, especially when you catch the right line, you get that blue and the textures. Trust me, the macros are well worth seeing of this incredible watch. And this watch has kind of become a bit of a cult following. You know, it's built up a cult following within social media, that's for sure. You know, rightfully so or wrongfully so, you be the decider of that. But at the end of the day, you can't deny its beauty. So let's show it on wrist. So here it is on wrist. So for reference, I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. This is a 42mm watch by 49.5. So it comes right under that 50mm lug to lug I always go on about. Only 12mm thick, which helps with the wearability massively, and 22mm lugs. So you can see here on wrist the profile, those lugs that just slope around the wrist beautifully. Absolutely incredible. And when the light catches those hands, they just shine blue. Really nice strap as well, very, very comfortable. Nice buckle. Everything you'd expect, and the crown is really cool as well. It's just an overall very well designed watch, and the price, you know, you be the deciding factor. I think it's fair considering what you get, but obviously some people out there will never pay more than retail for something. I get it, but here you go. This is for those that are willing to step out and try something new. From Louis Erard to a watch that really surprised me and is far bigger than the watches I'd usually like, but I really love it, this Fortis GMT. Now to a watch I had never seen before, and when I saw it, I had to have it, I had to stock it, and I had to enjoy it for at least a couple of days. This is a super cool Fortis B42 Cosmonaut GMT 3 time zone automatic. That is a mouthful, but a really, really great design. I have seen them without the diving bezel, but this one with the diving bezel, I've not been able to find another example, which is kind of really cool, and I like it for that fact. You can see you've got date over there, GMT hand, bright orange second hand. it's a great looking watch. Fortis are massively underrated in my opinion, especially when you can find pieces like this. I mean, inside here is an automatic ETA 2893-2, a very commonly used ETA GMT movement. So you know you've got a good workhorse in there. It comes on a very robust bracelet with screw links, big thick links. Overall, just the design is fantastic, and obviously being part of the Cosmonaut family, you know, it went to the moon and all that. You can do your research into there. I'm pretty sure we've got a pretty good write-up on the website about it, but a just cool watch. And it gets better when this is from 2007, to be specific, October 2007. The reason we know that is we have the full box, paperwork, spare links, everything. This is a complete set, even with the purchase receipt as well, which is kind of crazy. So you're getting yourself a full set watch from 2007 that comes with our warranty and everything like that, in great condition. It's definitely worn, you're going to see some wear and tear and scratches and everything, but overall very, very good, very fair, and a hell of a price for what you get, a diving GMT watch. You know, go find another one. It's definitely one of those cases, but let's show on wrist. So here we go on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. It is a beast, but it's a beast that I really like. It is 44mm by 53mm, so over that 50mm lug to lug, but I think it wears surprisingly well. 13mm thick and 20mm lugs. So these 20mm lugs definitely help with the way the watch wears, because having a 44mm wide case, if it was on 22mm lugs, the whole thing would appear massive. But these 20mm lugs just bring it down ever so slightly and make it, in my opinion, fairly wearable, especially on my small wrist. So if you have bigger wrists than me, this is going to look and wear great. And as we said, we've got the spare links as well. Right now it's sized to my wrist because I'm going to enjoy it, don't blame me, but there you go. Sticking to divers, let's go over to this awesome limited edition Doxxer. So a brand that has also built up a cult following within the diver world, and you know what, they have real history, they have real heritage, and you should totally do some research into that if you haven't already. Doxxer is a fantastic brand, and what we have here is a great example. This is a 2019 Doxxer Sub 200 and a limited edition for the 130th anniversary, so it's actually limited to 130 pieces. You've got this ceramic bezel which they've tried to make look like Bakelite, and it kind of does, you know, it gives that vibe. You've got obviously the vintage style loom in the hands and the indices, and those box indices which just look so vintage, and that big pop of orange with the matching red on the dial as well. A gorgeous watch on its bead of rice bracelet, and you know what, they've actually nailed the design in my opinion. The 42mm case with those twisted lugs, it wears beautifully. Now this one does come with its full box and papers. It's actually from October 2019, so it comes with everything. Inside here is an ETA 2824-2, and as I said, it's limited to 130 pieces. Now in the full box it does come with 2 spare rubber straps which are Doxxer original, and they are tapered to fit this case and this case only, or the other variants of the Sub 200. So, and those straps aren't cheap in themselves as well, so you're getting yourself a good deal because we haven't added the price of those straps into the price of the watch, so it's just like a nice bonus that you get all of those. So here it is on wrist, a really gorgeous size, an example 42 by 46mm lug to lug, wears really well, 14mm thick, but it actually seems to wear a lot thinner. A lot of that is due to that domed sapphire crystal, and you've got 19mm lugs. As I said, a little bit awkward there, but you've obviously got the beads of rice bracelet that it comes on, and the 2 spare rubber straps as well, so your options are definitely there, and the rubber straps are kind of really cool. There's a pop of orange in one of the straps that's full orange, and I think I'd probably wear it on that just for the pop of colour, but go check it out. Now let's go over to Japan for something very, very special. Before we get onto the Titanium Seiko, which I know a lot of you are probably eyeing, let's have a look at this incredible Creedor with its box and papers. So next we have a watch I am very excited to finally bring to market, a really awesome Creedor Seiko Ellipse, as I am calling it, and I think people are taking that. So for those of you who remember, we had one of these a little while ago, and you might be like, is this the same one? Well, it isn't. So this one has central seconds, and it also comes with its box and paperwork, which I'm going to show you in a second. But that original one, the non-second version, slightly different case, we actually sold to Nicholas of Fizz Watches. For those of you who follow him will know that very, very well. And he recently actually did a comparison on his Instagram, IGTV, showing these two watches side by side and going into some incredible detail. I would highly advise you head over to his Instagram at Nicholas Bowman Scargill, and first off give him a follow, but also check out the comparison he did. He uncovered things that I never would have known, and it's really, really fascinating. We cover a few of the things in the write-up, so you can also see it there, but for the full hour-long, really interesting review, definitely check him out. But let's talk about this watch. So this is a really gorgeous reference, 593-5160, so 5931 is the caliber reference, and obviously the 5160 is the case reference. Now the actual quote reference, the catalog reference, is KGX011. Really, really gorgeous watch, and it is actually from the 25th of September 1981. So let's show this gorgeous suede box, and there you go, you can see everything here, and the papers as well. And in Nick's video he deciphers the actual guarantee, so go check that out, and he breaks down how this is the 25th of September 1981. It's really, really interesting, and the fact it comes with all this is super great and super cool. And the paper, I mean, just like today with Grand Seiko and even Seiko, there's a massive attention to detail that's been given here, but obviously it will come with all that. But let's talk about the watch. So you can see it comes on its integrated bracelet, which is very, very nice, really beautifully finished. And you can see on the case back as well, you've got all the relevant stuff, and the crown is an original cabochon crown. You've got the clasp there as well. Really stunning watch, really nice blue dial. It's just perfect. Let's show it on wrist. So here it is on my wrist, elegant as ever. It is absolutely stunning. It's 30mm by 30mm, which might surprise you because looking at it, it looks like it's torn over, but it actually isn't. It is pretty much a square, which is super surprising. 5mm thick, so super, super thin, and 19mm on the lugs where they start. Obviously you can't swap the strap out, but a gorgeous design, gorgeous on the wrist, super thin, perfect dress watch. And even, and dare I say this, I would wear this with a t-shirt and jeans. Now for the Titanium Seiko. From Creedor to a baby Grand Seiko as it's known, and when you get it in hand you'll understand why. If you've ever held the Grand Seiko Snowflake, I've got to be honest, this is really on par with it, which sounds absolutely mental because this is just a Seiko Presage, but there's a reason this has built up a cult following and people really, really love it and desire this model. And now having it in hand, I can exactly see why. The dial is absolutely stunning to the standard you'd expect of Grand Seiko, and the titanium, because this is a titanium case, the titanium is really beautifully done, and to finish titanium like this isn't cheap. So the fact they're being able to offer it in a Seiko Presage line at a very fair price is incredible really, and even more so at the price we're offering it at pre-owned. So this is from 2018. It does come with its box and paperwork, so you get everything with it, and the reference of this one is SARX, or the SARX 055, a really gorgeous watch, and as I said, people love it. And if you haven't seen the macros, you will understand exactly why very, very quickly. As you spin the watch around, you've got your clasp. It does come with its full bracelet. You can see the exhibition case back with the 6R15 movement, which is hand wound. You pull the crown out to change the time and date, and it also hacks as well, which is super useful and convenient. Now the case is a little bit bigger, but it actually wears super well, so let's show it on wrist. So here it is on wrist. It is 41mm by 46mm, so a little bit over the 40mm, but still under that 50mm lug to lug. You've only got 11.5mm thick, so it wears nice and slim to the wrist, and 20mm lugs, which work really, really well, and you can imagine a absolute huge variety of straps this is going to look great on. But on the bracelet, super comfortable, super light, and you barely even notice it's there. And I guess from there we should go on to the Unimatics. Let's take a look at this awesome Norwegian Rain edition. So the first of the Unimatics, and we were fortunate enough to have two of this model. So this is a limited edition model of 54 total, I want to say. Yes, 54, and we had two. Kind of cool. So this is a Unimatic Norwegian Rain, as it's called, a collaboration, the U1-NR limited edition. As I said, really gorgeous watch, and in here is the Seiko NH35A. Now we've got that out of the way, the highlight here is that dial, and it's very difficult to capture here. So each dial is unique and has got different properties to the others, and if you go to the website and you can see both, you can see the subtle differences just in the two we had. This is the one we've got left. You can see you've got some of that beautiful blue over towards the 10, which is a Roman numeral 10. Just a really gorgeous watch. You've got gilded or gold tone hands, and those indices are lume filled with sort of vintage style lume, which really goes with the overall aesthetic. A fully blacked out case, blacked out bezel, a stunning watch really, and massively underrated. The dial is the highlight. They sold out immediately, so it was great to be able to offer two to the public. As I said, one's already gone, so this is the final one left. So here it is on wrist. Now these are on NATOs, which do add to the sort of wrist presence. It's 41mm by 48mm lug to lug, 14mm thick and 22mm lug. So it's not a small watch, but it's not a humongous watch either. I think putting it on a sort of thin black rubber strap would really bring the size in for the smaller wristed people, but the NATO definitely works really well. So go check this one out on the website, see the macros of that dial, you will be blown away. And the final Unimatic on the table, we did have two of the other ones, we only have one of this one, and it may already be gone by the time you're watching this video, but a really awesome limited edition Unimatic. Now for what is probably my favourite Unimatic I have yet seen, and this is super cool. It may already be spoken for, so if you head over to the website you'll know for sure. If it says sold, I'm sorry. If not, I would take it whilst you still can. So this is the Unimatic U1BP, which is a limited of 100 watches, and you can see you've got that beautiful browny bronze bezel with the same sort of vintage style lume, and the Unimatic logo down there at 6 o'clock is also done in that vintage style. You've got the 369 Explorer-esque dial, which is super cool on those lume-filled hands with the lollipop seconds. It's just a vintage-inspired watch in a completely modern way, which I think is what Unimatic do really well. As I said, this was limited to 100 pieces, the same Seiko NH35A inside, and it's from 2019 with its box and papers. Stunning watch, let's show it on wrist. And here we go, so there you go. 41mm by 48mm lug to lug, 13mm thick and 22mm lugs. It wears super nice. I actually really like it on this strap as well. I think it suits it perfectly. It is the original strap, and it comes with a spare strap in the box. I'll be very surprised if this isn't already gone. But what a stunning watch. And then last but certainly not least, a almost new old stock, beautiful condition and all original Bulova tuning fork. And the final watch of the day is a super awesome vintage Bulova Accutron. I have always absolutely loved these. These were some of the first tuning fork, so electronic movements, and that's why they have that sweeping seconds hand rather than the distinctive tick of a quartz watch. And they're commonly known as hummers as well, because you put them up to your ear and you can hear the oscillating just spinning around ferociously. Absolutely awesome. So this is a 1974 Bulova Accutron, 36mm. The reference is 7541, and the movement inside is their Accutron movement 2181G. Really reliable, good movement used by many brands, not just Bulova, but they created it. Now, the interesting thing about this is the condition of that dial for sure. Beautiful tritium hands, still intact. Same with the dial and those indices. They're very gorgeous up close. And the case shape is really nice as well, especially at 36mm. You can see you've got your original crown and you've got the case back. Now, interestingly, some of you may have already noticed, this is an original Bulova strap. Now, the lug width of this case is 19mm. This is a 20mm strap, period correct, that has been squeezed on at some point. I don't know when, but I bought it on this strap with the watch. Now, the reason I know this is a vintage strap, period correct, because I don't know if I can capture it in the video. This is a kangaroo strap. So for those of you out there who do not like animal straps, I completely understand, and I apologize for this, but it is a vintage strap after all. So this is actual kangaroo, which is kind of strange that they used it, but hey, they did. So it comes on that. We can obviously provide a alternative strap as well. For those of you who don't want it on that, you can see you've got a Bulova buckle. Kind of interesting, kind of unusual, kind of cool in a weird way. But there you go, let's show it on wrist. So here we go on wrist. Now, as this strap is new old stock basically from that period, I wouldn't recommend wearing it on it because it's probably very fragile and wouldn't last very long, so we will throw in another strap as well. But it's 36mm by 41mm lug to lug, 12mm thick and 19mm lugs. A really stunning example for a very fair price, especially considering this comes with our 12-month warranty, which is vital on these movements because the batteries can go and they can be a little bit temperamental at times, but this one is backed. So there you go. So there you have it, guys and girls. That is this week's drop. A really interesting mix of watches from all different periods, different sort of styles, and everything to tick everyone's box, basically. And that is what we try and achieve here at Kibble Watches. We try and provide you with a range of watches that, as collectors, you would probably collect. You know, most collectors don't just collect Rolex. Most don't just collect Omega. They have a variety, and that is what we're trying to provide you here at Kibble Watches. That same experience, so you can go to one place to buy your watches and be treated well every single time. It's pretty good, I think. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next episode. Make sure you check out the website kibblewatches.co.uk, follow on Instagram, leave a like, all that usual stuff, and we'll see you all next time. Take care.